Hello, and welcome to Scent and Sound, a video series where I review fragrances and make songs inspired by them. This week we have Encre Noire A L'Extreme by Lalique. Dark, mossy, dirty, scary. Now that's just me describing my camping holiday, but this fragrance also follows all of those descriptors. The vetiver is really dark and a bit scary. Seems like a strange way to describe a fragrance, but I really kind of mean it. It's deep and dark and a little bit troublesome. It evokes ideas of dark, mossy forests. I think I described Guerlain's vetiver. I described Guerlain's vetiver recently as a tweed suit walking your dog through say more like the well-kept gardens of a National Trust manor house. This is you're a police detective going through the darky undergrowth of the city to find the latest victim of some heinous crime. That sounds more grim than it is. It's really nice. Okay, let's take our first sniff. It's so interesting doing these videos and trying to provide an accurate commentary to all of you, because I don't want to kind of do a bad job and skim above the surface of all these fragrances that are, miniature works of art. Because this smell round, I've got a much stronger smell of orris root. Orris is one of my favourite notes I have Under My Skin by Francesca Bianchi. And that is one of my favourite fragrances ever, and that's really heavy on the orris. Dark, resinous, mossy, thick, like syrup. This almost gives this gives the feeling of syrup ahead of where that Guerlain one gives the feeling of like fizzy liquid. I have the mid on a strip here. It's much brighter on the strip. Yeah, the darkness kind of gives away to a bit of light. Maybe the crime isn't so bad after all. And now the dry down. There's definitely the dry down. The darkness subsides a little bit, which I think that's really interesting. It gives way for some more brightness, a bit more sweetness, which I do think this fragrance needs. So let's see what the company has to say about this fragrance. Tread the line between light and darkness. That is where you'll find Lalique Encre Noire A L'Extreme Eau de Parfum. That's a lot of French. An embodiment of masculine sensuality. Immerse yourself in the intense woody fragrance that seductively combines cypress with other earthy notes. Describes a chypre woody fragrance with a delicate citrus undertones, created for all strong men who don't fear obstacles. The fragrance will reinvigorate your sensuality and give you strength. I don't know who wrote that copy, but I don't know if that's the correct one, because that seems like it's been translated from some sort of like Chinese brand. It says on that description, which is on Notino and Fragrantica, but I don't know if that's always the right place, about masculinity. Now, unless you're kind of a book talk girly and you fantasize about illicit meetings with centaurs, I think that's the half man half horse things, and that's your idea of masculinity, then maybe you want your men smelling of dark wood, moss, resinous syrup. It's not normally what I associate with the concept of masculinity deemed by fragrance companies. Who knows what we mean by the concept of masculinity in 2026. So yes, if you like your man half horse, half man in the forest, this is the masculine fragrance for you. Let's have a read through the ingredients. The top notes are bergamot, elemi, cypress. Middle notes, Haitian vetiver, orris root, and incense. Base notes are patchouli, sandalwood, and benzoin. I can get the incense now. I've not had many incense fragrances. I think the closest I've smelt to incense are some of those and fragrances and I had got to get my nose on Amouage Interlude recently, which I think has incense in it. Now I'm mentioning incense, I do understand that as an ingredient. The longevity on this is pretty good. I'm normally getting about a full day's worth, normally 6 to 7 hours before it starts to go down to a skin scent. The price. This is where the conversation gets interesting. I think I got this from Notino for £20. This is 100ml fragrance, and the quality of this, I know I've made a lot of jabs at the fragrance, but the quality of this is fantastic. It doesn't, for £20, this feels like what you would expect from some sort of niche brand. The bottle design is lovely. Love this big, thick square. It looks like you're getting something for your money. Big, thick, square thing with this nice faux, it's not real, I don't think, it's too light, faux wooden cap with the name embossed on top. Spray is pretty cheap, but it's £20 for 100ml. It's the bargain of the century. Some fragrances, I can't wrap my head around why they're so cheap. Season. I don't know if I believe in... Actually, I take that back. I do, because if somebody's wearing some Vanilla Gourmand in the height of summer, straight to jail. But this could be amazing in summer. I'd have to report back. But in the winter, right now, this is winter and spring. Spring, autumn. Winter and autumn. Does autumn come after winter? I'm losing the plot. It's the perfect fragrance for that. The evocativeness of this fragrance is something a lot greater than a lot of the other fragrance I've been wearing recently. So I had quite an interesting experience with this. I'd be interested to hear what you lot think of this idea. But I put this on, and then I've got a very bright blue jumper, and it felt wrong. The feeling of the scent, which is so green, dark green, wearing like a bright blue jumper, it felt so incongruous to the actual fragrance that I felt like there was some sort of conflict, within myself, between the fragrance and the clothes I was wearing. I don't get that very often. Obviously fragrances evoke different moods and different feelings, but this one evoked one so strongly in me. I actually changed jumper. Either that's just some real, something's going on up here, or these fragrances can just make us so in tune with these kind of things. So, as always in this series, I will make a song inspired by this fragrance, and as it's so evocative, I really am pleased with this one. Again, it lent into the more stripped back, but again, I got to reach into kind of the darker pockets of songwriting, which is always an interesting place to visit. Let's listen through the song together. And if you want to listen to the song completely unedited, I'm going to include that in a different video this time. Just so, if you want to listen to the song on its own with no interruptions, go over to that video, but we're just going to do a walkthrough for that through the video right now. So, interestingly, before we get into the lyrics, I chose to use my baritone guitar for this song, and I tuned it down an extra tone. So a baritone guitar, for those who don't know, it's a longer scale length guitar, which means the neck is slightly longer, usually, and the strings are much thicker, so you can tune the guitar to a much lower pitch. Give this huge, warm feeling that I thought was perfect to capture the darkness of this fragrance. Let's keep listening.
In the dark of the forest, where the sun doesn't shine, you'll find me sleeping, entangled in the vines. When the sun finally breaks and the green turns to brown, I'll awake from my slumber till the night comes around.
Yeah, so I've spoken a lot about forests, vines, kind of deep slumber, hibernation, all those kind of ideas. I also tried to sing it in a slightly lower range of my voice to capture that sense of darkness.
Roots grab my feet. Ooh, they capture me. I'm a fool if I feel free. It's so
And I've opened up that song at the end there with some harmonies, with that kind of floaty, dreamy texture as the fragrance opens up to kind of follow along of its progression. Okay, thank you very much for following along. I hope you enjoyed that song. I'm really proud of that one. The lyrics came together very quickly, inspired by this fragrance. Again, how evocative this is really helped influence me in writing this song. That came together really quickly. And I love getting my baritone guitar out. That's such a fantastic thing to play. I hope you enjoyed the song. I was thinking about maybe making a little collection of these songs, maybe selling it as an album or providing it as an EP. If any of you like these songs, it would be great to, I'd really love to put it as a little package together. Thank you very much, everybody. Please follow my original music over on my original music channel. I promise there's going to be stuff coming out soon. It's all coming together, and in the next month or so, I can finally start releasing music again, which I'm really, really excited for, and I'd love for you to join me on that experience. Check out all my Spotify, my live album, my recent releases. I'd really appreciate the support. And always, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know about what fragrances we should do. I will do this Q&A, I promise, but I'm a man driven by targets. So I'd like to do it when I reach 40 subscribers. And the next week should be video 10. So I think I'm going to do another fragrance that's very special to my heart for this one. Thank you very much. Thanks for following along. And I'll see you next time. See you later.
Now we can turn on, it's coming, I've got